Oh hey, what's going on, Flash Mob? One of the biggest challenges for content creators is turning around a video quickly. Well, today I'm going to tell you all my secrets on how I went from taking days to make a video to just a few hours. Run the intro. The name's Flash if you're new here. By the end of this video, you're gonna be able to edit just about anything way faster. Doesn't matter if it's a wedding, commercial, event, doesn't matter. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, you might as well hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new uploads. I really wanna see this video hit 100 likes. You guys have been doing an amazing job, so let's go ahead and make that happen. And make sure you stay until the end of this video because learning one or two of these techniques is not really gonna help. But when you combine them all together, that's when you're gonna see some drastic improvements. So let's dive right in. So first off, let's talk about my computer setup. I run dual monitors mainly because I want my project and everything to do with that on one screen, and if I have to go search for anything or do anything in Photoshop or whatever the case might be, that's what I'll do on my other monitor. And I run a basic Magic keyboard and Magic mouse from Apple. I know a lot of people like all these other fancy keyboards and whatnot, but I like to try and keep it pretty simple and it does the job really well. And if you've seen my dream setup tour, you'll see that I now have a standing desk. And low key, this might be the game changer for me when it comes to editing. I can do a lot more work comfortably right at my desk. So the first thing we're gonna talk about to really speed up your editing process is keeping a clean desk. It might seem insignificant, but honestly, this is the first step to speeding up the process. A dirty work area creates poor concentration and major distraction. If you have a clean space, you're gonna have a clean mind, and that's what you need to go into every project with. If you feel comfortable in the environment that you're working in, naturally you're gonna be able to stay in that environment a little bit longer and be a lot more productive. So the second thing on this list is definitely not the most popular or flashy thing to talk about, but it's writing a script. When you decide to write a script, it helps keep the filming portion of a video on track. It also really helps you to make sure that you don't forget to talk about anything you want to include in the video, and really also helps you make sure that you don't miss any footage that you want to capture. And probably the most important part of all, it helps you decide on what type of B-roll you should get. A lot of time is wasted taking B-roll that you're probably never going to use. If you have everything scripted and nicely laid out and you just follow that blueprint, you're getting exactly the shots you need to get. So number 3, organize your files. This portion of editing is strongly overlooked, and it blows my mind that people do this because, I mean, if you can't find your files or you have to go and search for them every single time you want to start a new project, how much time are you really wasting? Let me tell you, a whole hell of a lot. People honestly think that there's just a bunch of commands that you hit on a keyboard that just speeds up the process of editing. And I mean, there are definitely commands on the keyboard that are gonna make things easier, but nothing really helps more than organizing your project. So you really need to be able to find all your clips for the video. This should be able to be done quickly and easily, no matter what you're working on. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I set up my folders to ensure that I can find everything later.
So first off, I'll go ahead and I'll make a master folder and I'll name it YouTube, and I'll make 3 subfolders. So episodes, that's where I'm going to put all the episodes that I film. I'm going to make one for music, so that's where I'm going to put all the songs and everything that I use for that. And then I'm going to have a master assets folder. So in the master assets folder, I'll have things that I know that I'm going to use on every single video. So transitions, my intro, Instagram lower third, and just some other things that I know, and the end screen, and just other little things that I know that I might use in every single video. So when I go into the episodes now, we'll use the one that I'm working on now. I'll make a folder for that specific video. So in this case, how to edit videos fast. And then I'll make exports. I'll make one for footage. So in that footage, I'll use, I'll say what I use. So the camera that I used was a Red camera. And then I use some screen records, so all the footage for that will be in there. If I have any pictures, I'll add pictures. If I'm going to use any specific assets that's only for this project, I'll do that, and then I'll make a folder specifically for the project. So this is where I'll save the actual project from Premiere Pro, is in this one, so I know exactly where to find it.
So, third thing you want to really try and do is remove as many distractions as possible. So things like this, your cell phone, And TVs, yeah, they're fun, but every time you look at one of these things, you're gonna spend about 45 seconds to a minute. Now imagine you do that 25 times, or 30 times, or 40 times in an hour. That's 40 minutes out of your hour being wasted at looking at your phone. So imagine this, you set an hour to do an edit, you look away 30, 40 times at the phone or the TV, and you only actually edit for 20 minutes. That is a major amount of time being wasted. So what I like to do is put my phone on completely silent and move it completely out of my vision. And with my TV, I'll turn it completely off and try and get all my focus to the screen. So a pro tip, I like to set a timer and give myself 30 minutes of uninterrupted editing. That way I know for sure I'm putting in a ton of work on the project at hand. So first I'm gonna show you guys how to quickly set up a new project. So first we're gonna open Premiere, we're gonna hit new project. We're gonna name it test project. We are going to browse over to the folder that we made before, how to edit fast. We're gonna go to projects. This is just a test one. Just gonna save it there. I'm gonna hit OK. And I'm gonna quickly show you guys how I set up my screens. So I don't know how yours is gonna open, but this is basically how mine opens. But the first thing I like to do is move my project over to the side here, just like that. So that way I have my project here, my source monitor here, my actual timeline monitor, and then just somewhere where I'll have my Lumetri, Essential Graphics, all these other kind of little things over here. So this is where everything else is gonna go, okay? Let's import some footage. So the first thing you wanna do is go down to your media browser. You wanna go to the folder, which is YouTube. Let's go to episodes. We're going to how to edit videos fast. We're going to go down to footage. We're going to go to red camera. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to highlight everything. And we're going to drop it into its own folder. I'll call that red. And I'm going to change the view to list view by clicking on this little thing right here. So now all the footage from the red camera is over here. Cool. Cool. Let's make another folder. Let's call it assets. Let's make another folder or a new bin by right clicking this time. We're going to call that music. Let's go to another bin and let's call it sound effects. And let's make another one for screen records. So let's go back here and I have another folder with some screen captures or records, whatever you want to call it. Let's highlight all those and let's move them into that bin. Cool. So the only other thing that I'm going to want to do right now is organize this red footage. So I'm going to double click. Actually, let's go back here. Let's click over here again. And I'm going to make another bin. We're going to call that BRoll, not a whole, BRoll. And let's make another one called BRoll. Now, depending on the complexity of your project, you might need to make more folders for this, but just generally for what we're doing here today, I just have BRoll, which is the talking head, and then I have some BRoll that I'm putting over it, so I'm not gonna make it super complicated. So let's just drag those into the red folder. If we hit this little arrow here, it's gonna expand it. Now we have all this footage that has no folders. So for myself, I know that this is talking head because I recorded audio. I know this is talking head because I recorded audio. I know this is talking head because I recorded audio. So I'm just gonna highlight those three and drop them into the BRoll. And all the rest of this I know is BRoll, so I'm gonna drop that into BRoll. So this is now perfect. So this is basically ready to start editing. So really quickly, a couple things that I want you to make sure that you do frequently is find your Command S. That's gonna save your projects. Now, the worst thing that you can possibly do is start a project, do a bunch of work, forget to save, and the application crashes. Basically what that means is you're gonna have to start and do everything all over again. And you don't wanna do that ever. So make sure that you make saving a frequent thing that you do all the time. So the next thing I like to do when I'm editing is go into my BRoll. I will find the first clip, I'll double click. I know that this is what it's gonna be, and I wanna take all of this over into my timeline. So I'm gonna take it all, drag it over, do my thing, and I'm ready to go.
So this is all of the talking head A-roll for the first section. So what I like to generally do is hold the option button, just hover my mouse over this area here, just not in this area where the actual footage is, but just a little to the left of it. And then I'll scroll up, and that increases the size of the audio file so I can just kind of see what I'm doing. And if I want to zoom in, I'll hit the plus key. If I want to zoom out, I hit the minus key. Really simple. Next thing I want to do is, before I do anything, is I just take a quick listen.
Oh hey, what's going on, Flash Mob?
And as I thought, I sounded like crap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to my essential sound, and this is where you would come to fix up all your audio. So if you wanna give yourself some more bass in your voice, if you wanna fix any reverb or anything like that, this is where you wanna do it. So I actually already made a preset, because I do this a lot, and mine is called Jamal's voice preset, duh. I would recommend strongly that if you're dealing with yourself and you're making talking head videos a lot for yourself, or even for clients, like male, female, whatever, I would say do your adjustments, save a preset for every single thing that you want to do. So in this case, Jamal's voice is my preset that I use for everything, and I'm just going to apply that to the entire clip. So now my voice should sound a little bit better.
Oh hey, what's going on, Flash Mob? One of the biggest challenges for content creators is turning around a video quickly.
I think I sound a lot better, but you know, that's up to your interpretation. So one other thing I want to show you guys really quickly that you need to be aware of is, if you're deciding to add any new assets to your project, you want to make sure that you do it the right way. So let's just assume that you went on, I don't know, Google, and you downloaded a new, I don't know, logo or something. Cool. So let's go into our assets folder. So this is the actual folder where this project lives. So in my YouTube, this is my master assets. Let's say I downloaded the Instagram logo. So what you don't want to do is find it in your downloads, which is it right here, and take it and just drag it over. That's what you do not want to do. The reason why is because if you just take it from your download folder and drop it into your project, it maps it back to your download folder. Now, if you take this hard drive and you go somewhere else to do your edits and whatever, if it's linked to your download folder, it's not going to be in the project anymore. So what you actually want to do, I'm going to hit Command Z there, go to that same file, scroll down, find it, go over to your assets folder, and you want to take it and you want to drag it into that folder. So now your picture's over there. Now you can actually take it from there and drop it into your project if you want, and it'll be mapped back to this folder on your hard drive. So let's talk about my workflow again. So after I drop in my A-roll, I adjust the volume, I adjust my voice and all that kind of stuff. I have all my folders there for my B-roll. The next thing I really want to do is just go through the footage and just start fixing the ums and the ahs and taking out mistakes or long pauses or anything like that. So let's just take a quick listen and I'll show you guys how I do it. Let's zoom in a bit. So what's cool is that I can see all of the audio waves here, so I kind of know where the pauses are. So this is the long pause, and I say some stuff. Here's another long pause, and I say some stuff, and again. So let's just take a listen to see what it sounds like.
Oh hey, what's going on, Flash Mob? One of the biggest challenges for content creators is turning around a video quickly. Well, today I'm going to tell you all my secrets on how I went from taking days to make a video to just a few hours. Run the intro.
So now that little sequence there sounded good. There were a few fumbles on my words. So what I want to do is I'm going to stop my playhead there, and I'm going to hit the letter K. This is going to make a nice long cut through all the tracks. So let's go back a little bit. Take a listen.
Oh hey, what's going on, Flash Mob? One of the biggest...
So hey, what's going on, Flash Mob? So that's pretty good. I'm going to do another cut there. I'll zoom in a little bit more. And I'm going to make another cut right here, because I know that part sounded good to me.
What's going on, Flash Mob? One of the biggest
So I made a little mistake here. I started saying one of the biggest, took a little pause, and I know I said one of the biggest again right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete this portion that I don't want. So a nice quick shortcut that I do for that is using the Q key. So basically what the Q key does is going to delete everything to the left of the playhead. So in this case, the playhead's here,
And then this whole section right here where the last cut was, all of this, if I hit the Q key, it's gonna delete all of that. So let's do that right now. Boom, all that footage is gone. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. I'm gonna hit Command Z and I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna put my playhead over here, right? If I decided I just wanna delete it and I hit the C button and I make a cut here, I have to make a cut there, then I have to hit the V button to go back to this, then I'm gonna delete it with the delete key, and then I have to click here again, then I have to delete again to do all those steps to do what I just did the first time. So to avoid doing all of that, all you do is drag your playhead to where you want it to be, and then you hit the Q key to delete everything to the left of it. So in one step, boom, done. So let's keep going a little bit and see if we have another one.
One of the biggest challenges for content creators is turning around a video quickly. Well, today, I'm going to tell you all my secrets on how I went from taking days to make a video to just a few hours. Run the intro.
So now I made a cut here, right? But I kind of want my fingers to end about there because that's where I am going to add in my intro video. So I'm gonna hit K there again, and that's just gonna show me where that next cut is. And then this is where having your assets somewhere is gonna be important for you. So I'm just gonna open up my assets folder. Or actually, I'm gonna go back to my assets folder here. And then I want my YouTube 2020 YouTube intro video. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna drag it into my assets. I also know I'm gonna want my end screen. I know I'm gonna want my flat transitions. I know I'm gonna want my Instagram lower thirds. So we might as well take all of those and drag them into the assets folder also. So in this case, I want my 2020 intro. And I'm just gonna click on the actual video here and drag it over. And that's gonna bring in my video and audio for that track. I'm just gonna drop it there. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drag it over again. I'm gonna line it up where that last cut was. I'm gonna hit the command button. You're gonna see all these little triangles to the right of the playhead. All that basically means is when I drop this video, when I drop this clip over this video, it's gonna move everything that's underneath it to the right of it. So if you look here, everything that was over here moved over to the right and it didn't delete any of this stuff here. So let's go through again. So I see all of this dead spot here. I'm just gonna go there. So now I have my playhead right there. I'm gonna hit the Q button again and delete everything before that. Let's take a listen again.
Oh hey, what's going on, Flash Mob? One of the biggest challenges for content creators is turning around a video quickly. Well, today, I'm gonna tell you all my secrets on how I went from taking days to make a video to just a few hours. Run the intro.
So as you guys can hear, I basically just did the intro again, and in my opinion, this one sounds way better than the first go around. So what I'm actually gonna do is make my cuts there using the K button. So this is my portion that I like. I'm gonna drag it up a layer. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete all of this stuff behind here that I don't want. So this is everything that I just said before that I don't want. Now, what you could do is just hit the delete key and it'll delete it for you. But we're trying to be faster, so what we're gonna do is use a command to make it a little bit quicker. So we're gonna highlight all of that stuff again, all of it. This time, we're gonna hit shift and then we're gonna hit delete. And that's gonna delete everything and move it all the way back to the beginning. So in this case, we're starting back to where our intro was. Now, I don't want my intro at the beginning, I want it after the first sentence. So again, I'm gonna drag it over. You're gonna see all those little triangles there. After I hold the command key, it's gonna see all those other arrows to the right telling me that everything to the right is gonna move over and make space for this one. Drop it in, there you go. Now to delete that space, just highlight that little area there and I'm gonna hit the delete key this time and it'll move everything back to the beginning. So now if we listen again and we look at it, we're gonna see what it's supposed to look like.
Oh hey, what's going on, Flash Mob? One of the biggest challenges for content creators is turning around a video quickly. Well, today, I'm going to tell you all my secrets on how I went from taking days to make a video to just a few hours. Run the intro.
Cool. So now I would literally go through the rest of this video and just do the exact same thing. I'll just take a listen here.
The name's Flash if you're new here. Well, the name's Flash if you're new here.
I like how that sounds. I'm gonna give this a little cut there, move my playhead here, and I'm gonna hit Q and delete everything to the left of that.
The name's Flash if you're new here.
And there's another weird pause. I don't know why I do it. And I'm gonna put the playhead there. And this time, the next cut is to the right of the playhead. And this is where all the dead space is. So I'm not gonna hit Q this time because it's gonna delete all of this. This time I'm gonna hit the W key and it's gonna delete everything to the right of the playhead up to the next cut. If I hit the W there, it deletes everything. We're on to the next portion of the audio.
By the end of this video, you're gonna be able to edit just about anything way faster.
That's pretty much how I would go through and clean up the audio for everything. Just really quickly, the only commands that you really need to know is a C for cut. You're gonna hit the K button to cut all layers. You're gonna hit the ripple delete, which is the Q and W head is. And again, I'm gonna tell you guys, make sure you hit that Command S button because you don't wanna lose all of that progress. So I'm gonna show you guys really quickly how to add B-roll. So let's go back to our folders here and let's find whatever we're looking for. So here we go. Here's a nice little clip. I like the way this looks. So what I'm gonna do is hit I at the portion where I want this B-roll to come in. Then I'm gonna hit O for the end of where I want the B-roll to end. So I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna drag it over the clips like that. And make sure you grab this icon and you drag it over. You don't want to do this one because that drags over audio. Now for this case, this doesn't have an audio one, but if you do have audio and you don't want it, you just want the B-roll, then you grab this. If you want the audio, you grab this. If you want both, then you grab the video from here and it'll bring over both. So let's take a look at how that looks now.
Anything way faster. Doesn't matter if it's a wedding, commercial, event, doesn't matter. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Cool. Now if I want that to shorten up, I can drag that back here and it'll play it until there.
Doesn't matter. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, you might as well hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new uploads.
Now let's just assume that it's perfect. Everything is where I need it to be. Everything is doing what I want it to do. I'll go ahead and export that. So let's hit the Command M. That's a quick shortcut to export. We're going to look at the output. First thing you want to do is make sure it's H.264. You're going to look at the output name. We're going to change that. We're going to also find the folder. We're going to go to exports. We're going to change that to test edit fast video. We're going to save that. What I like to do is I'll go down in here and I'll definitely render at maximum depth. That makes sure that the quality looks great. We'll go down a bit. We'll go through bitrate encoding is VBR1 pass, and I'm gonna change this to 15. I don't know why I changed it to 15. I just saw another YouTuber do that and his stuff looked good, so I just copied him. So whatever. And also make sure I use render or maximum render quality and use previews, and then I'll go ahead and export that. That's it. It's important to know that faster edits aren't a one-step home run type of move. It's a series of small things done consistently over time that adds up in the end. If you guys want to see a more detailed look of how I edit my videos in Premiere, go ahead and jump into the comments and leave a message that says "we want more," and I'll go ahead and make it happen for you. Also, if you stuck around this long, thanks a lot. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. And if you think this video could help somebody, go ahead and share it with a friend. And always remember, guys, to look, learn, and share. Take it easy, guys.